This is a weird one for me. On one side, this is a small SUV slash crossover, comfortable, spacious, and quite practical. But on the other hand, this is a hot hatch. Up front, you have a 1.5 turbocharged petrol engine capable of producing 180 horsepower. In the middle, you have a 6-speed manual transmission, and drive goes to the front wheels. What's up everyone, welcome back to the channel and welcome to the new Honda HR-V Sport. This is the flagship of the HR-V lineup, and yes, it's basically yet another sporty SUV crossover thingy. That's how it is. People love these things and manufacturers build all kinds of variants nowadays. So let's take a closer look at this car's specs first, before I tell you how it drives. This is a midlife refresh of the HR-V, and along with that we have a new flagship model called the HR-V Sport. The facelift includes a new grille, bumper, wheels and lights. But the most interesting stuff is up front, where we have a 1.5-liter turbocharged unit that can produce 180 horsepower and 240 Nm of torque. Not bad for a city crossover. The interior is pretty good as well. I like it more than the one in the Type R. It feels a bit more modern, a bit more polished, even though it shares the same pretty outdated infotainment system with the Civic. The dials I like very much, and the climate control unit as well. It's pretty spacious on the inside, materials are good, luggage space is decent, and the small folding magic seats are a pretty clever little trick. Besides it looking like a bit of an oddball, this car, it also drives like one. Because of its 180 horsepower at the front and this quite good 6-speed manual transmission in the middle, you would expect this car to be a blast when driving on twisty roads such as this one. But unfortunately, it's not. Let me explain. Around town, this car behaves exactly the way you would expect a crossover to behave. It's quiet, it's comfortable, and it's easy to drive. The steering is light, the car just wafts along and it handles bumps in the road quite well actually. But because this HR-V Sport doesn't have any driving modes, that means you can't alter the steering, the suspension and the throttle response. And as a result, you can't really place the car accurately on the road because of the light steering, and it also leans quite a bit around corners because of the soft suspension, which is surprising considering Honda says the HR-V Sport is equipped with the so-called performance dampers. But it's quick, this thing. The car can reach 100 km/h from standstill in 7.8 seconds, and if you keep the engine above 3500 RPM, throttle response is instant. So it's a bit of a contradiction, this car. It's called the HR-V Sport. It has a quite powerful engine, a manual transmission in the middle, but unfortunately those are checks that the rest of the car can't cash. So what's the point of this car then? Well, I'm not really sure, but I highly doubt it's gonna appeal to many SUV buyers, at least spec like this. I mean, who buys manual transmission crossover nowadays? And unfortunately, you don't really have a good alternative to this manual transmission because the only other available gearbox is a CVT. So is it really worth paying 12% extra for the sport model? Well, I guess if you really want this engine and the 50 extra horsepower it gets you, well, yeah. But don't expect a more involving driving experience from this car, because you're not gonna get it. I think the Honda CR-V is a great little SUV crossover thingy, but if you want to get the most out of this car, you're better off with a standard one. It's cheaper, more economical, and well, it just makes much more sense for this type of vehicle. But let me know your thoughts about this car in the comment section down below. I'm really curious to see what you guys think of it. But that's been it for today's video, my friends. I really hope you've enjoyed it. Please give it a thumbs up if you have. Thank you to Honda Sweden for lending me this car. Thank you as always for watching, and make sure you're subscribed for plenty more videos to come. And until next time, take good care of yourselves, and I'll see you around.